Okay, so today I'm going to take a little moment and talk to you and try and explain a little bit about why being a parent right now, and a mom especially, is so hard comparably to possibly other generations, or even way, way, way back if we look at ancestors from, many, many years ago, like thousands of years ago, right? Because if you look back in human history and human evolution, it literally takes 30,000 years for a human to truly evolve into what it needs, right? So changing of DNA and stuff like that takes 30,000 years, right? And this has been proven. It's a sort of a historical fact. And when we look at what's happening right now versus, say, what happened 30,000 years ago, or even 1,000 years ago in many cases, our situations and our environments are insanely different, right? If you look at ancestrally, when children are born and when children are raised, there are, 14 different adults who end up parenting that child. It's called alloparenting, and it still happens in many indigenous cultures where it literally does take the community to raise the child. The mom is not alone in that at all, right? And now, when you look at it now, we are very much separated. Most moms are sort of doing it on their own for the most part, or dads, right? Because somebody has to work, and you're really stuck doing it on your own. So it's not even just can you handle it physically, but that mental and emotional evolution hasn't really happened either. Obviously, 30,000 years hasn't gone by since we have started being in a house by ourselves, dealing with children on our own. And nobody really knows how to do that. I mean, we've all grown up, we've had our caregivers, but we're not really taught exactly how to parent. We're all just figuring it out as we go, with brains that haven't quite evolved to be able to truly handle all of the mental and emotional stuff that comes along with that. But let's also look at what happens physically, right? Because we all know that stress plays a huge factor in either recovery or fat loss or your mental health, your happiness, and what is happening in our bodies these days that makes it so different from, say, even 100 or 200 years ago. Generally, most of us are sitting a lot more. Our breathing and everything is coming up from here. We're really tight. And it's not the same as if you were sort of constantly moving and you had to go get your food, or you were farming, or even just cleaning all the time, whatever your daily activities would have been. More of your body would have been activated, right? But now, we sit all day, and so from that, your hips get super tight, your butt generally gets sort of turned off, your core, because you're lying back in a chair, or you have armrests or something like that, your core doesn't really have to do all of that much anymore, because everything's kind of taken care of. And this happens right from when we're little, right? You come home in a car seat already. There's no necessity for you to actually work your core as much, and this is where we're kind of moving and going to. And so when all of those sort of things are turned off, we become very sort of disconnected from the core itself. And then even if you do sort of go to the gym and stuff, or you're working out, or whatever people are doing these days, you're doing it from this place of really tight hips, bum turned off, core generally turned off, and so you're working the things that are already strong, which is up here, often through your quads, right? The things that we see on a daily basis. And so how is it that we can start to change all of that, so that we can sort of de-stress naturally and allow our natural body movements and feelings to be able to come out in a way that serves us, right? And the foundation from this is, of course, your breathing, the very first thing that I talked about when we began the program in the first place, right? So this kind of all ties in, because not only is this, a physical thing, because once you begin to breathe properly, you can begin to activate the muscles that you want to activate. But it also helps you to calm down, settle your mind, and be able to try and make sense of all of the madness that is kind of coming at you these days, right? Because you need to really be able to put it into perspective. When you look at the amount of information that we take in now on a daily basis, so whether that's just the environment itself, seeing different streets, different stores, different people, right? Or information coming from computers or phones or what people are telling you. We take in more information in a day right now than somebody from, say, the early 1900s would in an entire year, if not their life, right? They walk out of their house, they're going to see the same people, they're going to see the same stores, they may travel a little bit, but how long does it take to get there, etc., right? So we're not truly evolved to any of those things yet. We're just not. All of that information and everything bears on you, because we're not, like, physically or biologically, physiologically I should say, able to really deal with that stuff yet, right? So how can we truly begin to calm down and reconnect with our body on a daily basis? Diaphragmatic breathing, okay? So what we want to aim to be doing, the thing is that especially postpartum, women will either have a belly that's kind of out because it's been so stretched throughout the pregnancy process, okay? Or it's too far in, okay? So because everybody is so focused on pulling in all the time that we're kind of stuck, and because of that, you're breathing up here and everything's, become really stuck. You can't feel that peace anymore, right? So what we're going to do today is just reinforce that diaphragmatic breathing. So what I want you to do, you can actually just get right down on the ground, lie down and put your hand on your belly and give it a try and see. When you're breathing in, that belly should expand, and when you're breathing out, it should come in, okay? And if you're having troubles with that, this is the very, the easiest way. You're just breathing for you to be able to connect and be able to actually tone your core in a very safe way. But be really cognizant of if you do one better than the other. And say you do, you're out more and it's already out too much, what you need to focus on is bringing it in. So what I want you to do in that case is go, right, and make the physical sound. Because that's where you need to work on the most. If you're already tight because you're always holding your stomach in or something like that, then you need to work on the opposite end. So that's breathing in. Okay? It's a really simple way to begin to truly tone the inner muscles, so that inner musculature of your core, right? It's a super simple way. We breathe 20,000 to 25,000 times a day, so let's start doing that correctly. And then all of a sudden, when this becomes, starts to work properly and is activated properly, you are allowing your other muscles, so your butt, your scapula, your chest, to start functioning in the ways that they want to. And this is going to keep you from having any pain, allow you to be in proper alignment a lot easier, and sort of stop some of the problems that happen when you're up here and you're tight and you're stressed and you're in your head and everything else. It allows you to reconnect with your body, reconnect with your core, which helps you physically, mentally, and emotionally. So I hope this helped a little bit today and gave you an idea of why things are so difficult, why we have a lot of trouble with stuff. You know that it's absolutely not your fault, but give you a quick tip that you can do anytime to be able to reconnect, slow down a little bit, tone at the same time, and just really get into your body again. All right, so enjoy today.